killer. Beats in the blood.
This your boy N.O.R.E.
What up, it's DJ EFN.
And this is Drink Chess Motherfucking Happy Hour. Make some noise! What it good be, hoping it's what it should be. This is your boy N.O.R.E.
What up, it's DJ EFN.
And this is Drink Chess Motherfucking Happy Hour. Make some noise! And our guests today, one of our best things that I started to do, EFN, was to do research, right? And when I researched this strong woman, I really like, you ever seen the X-Men and you seen Storm? Because Storm was the strong woman of X-Men that can turn into anything that she wanted to. And when I researched, I felt like I was researching Storm. Nobody else read comic books here? Mystique, it's Mystique. I said Storm. I said it's Mystique. And when I tell you, from her first store in Brooklyn to her conquering the world, there's a lot of people who cannot say I worked with Biggie and Tupac.
N.O.R.E.
There's a lot of people who cannot say I worked with Run DMC and Jay-Z. There's not a lot of people, period, in those categories. And when you Google and when you understand the line that it meant to the culture, and you understand that she stood back and said, you know what, I want the line to speak for itself for years. And said, I'm gonna take the step back. And then now, years later, you see what it involved to, what clothing means to hip hop, how an artist actually gets signed and hires a stylist. If this woman that we have today wasn't here and didn't take the forefront of, we had the FUBUs, we had the Carcanas, we never had a woman just running the forefront. And in case you don't know how proud we are of this history, in case y'all don't know, y'all need to stand up and make some noise for the honorable, the impeccable April Walker. Goddamn.
Wow. Thank you. I mean, I'm just humbled by that.
No, you know what's crazy is obviously I had to do my research. So I went. And what documentary you told me to watch?
Fresh Dressed.
Okay.
Fresh Dressed. Yeah. I watched Fresh Dressed, but before I watched Fresh Dressed, I watched the remix.
Okay. With Misa and Dap and
yeah. It was basically you, Misa, and Dap's documentary, in my opinion. I did not realize how, because to me, as an outsider looking in, as an insider,
right? I
just thought you guys. Gucci send you guys clothing and you guys just cut it up. I thought
especially not back then.
No, listen, I was so naive. I just thought that you guys had it made. Like I thought that if you was a designer, you basically
get the fabric.
Got the fabric, you cut it up, and just get to. I had no idea of the struggles, the flights. And when I'm researching you, because I know when you come out, I'm saying, holy shit, I was ashamed of myself. Because here I am as a person that's in the culture, a part of the culture, but I had no idea of what you guys went through.
I was just gonna say, that's why it's important for this show.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Because you're telling our stories. Mm-hmm. And we can't count on other people to tell our stories. We have to tell our own stories. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to be here. Thank you.
Goddamn, no problem. No problem. No problem.
It's true. It's true. And I've been listening, like, not just this story. You tell so many important stories and unsung heroes that really have really done a lot for the culture, but people might not know. So the fact that you dig in like that is priceless.
No, I love it. So you know where I want to go first? I want to go to your first store, Fashion and Effect.
All right. Yep. That was Fashion and
Brooklyn.
Effect. Yep. Clinton Hill, Brooklyn.
Okay,
right?
I just want y'all to understand, because a lot of y'all didn't make noise when she said Clinton Hill, Brooklyn, because y'all probably thinking of Clinton Hill, Brooklyn now.
Yeah.
But back in the days, Clinton Hill, Brooklyn was very rough.
I'll paint that picture.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
so right, I started in 87. So when I first started, you got to think Reaganomics, crack era.
Yeah.
You got to think New York City was different, right? So the hustlers were hanging with the COs were hanging with, it was just like you go to Bentley's, you can see everything at the bar together.
Okay, time out. Just in case y'all don't know, Bentley's was one of the
Yeah, I don't
hottest
know.
clubs in New York
Right,
City. By the
right.
way, she flossed on us, by the way. Well, so just in case y'all ain't know, continue.
You gotta help us
No,
out.
okay,
I got you, I
the
got you.
landscape. So when you think about the 80s, right, we're talking about, it was electric in New York.
Right.
It was like the hustlers, no disrespect to artists and rappers and MCs, but a lot of that, what you see in videos, comes from that 80s period on the streets and what was happening, right?
Okay, Dominican guy, relax.
Like you were there?
That's very real.
Yeah, that's real.
You know
He
what
just
I mean?
celebrated his 51st birthday. Let's make some noise for him.
Oh yeah, he was there.
Go ahead.
So it was just like this period where you were hustling, trying to figure it out, and then at the same time, I was graduating. I graduated high school. I went to Bishop Lockland, and Brooklyn Tech.
Oh my God. That's where Kenny Anderson went. Kenny Anderson went to Bishop Lockland. No, Bishop Malloyd. Okay. My other friend who sold cracks went to Bishop Lockland. Okay.
I went to school with Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson, that's what I'm talking about. I know I'm on point. My Queens basketball players. Okay, go ahead.
So then, and Kenny Smith went to Malloy. Yeah, because we were both peer group
Not Kenny
leaders.
Anderson. I was.
You
I
were
had the
close.
kidneys
You were
correct.
right there.
Okay, continue.
But that whole period was electric because that was, to me, when the commercialization, like, it started, the spirit of entrepreneurship kicked in hard for hip hop. You think about Fresh Fest, you think about Run DMC, My Adidas, you think about, like, it becoming a commercially viable business, right? And then Public Enemy came out. That
Fight
Don't
the
Believe,
The
all of
branding
that.
that Public Enemy
Oh
brought
my
to the
God,
table
they
was
shut it
crazy.
down.
Yeah.
And they were speaking to us, right? It was everything we were feeling.
Right.
So one night at the Apollo, after the Apollo, me and my girls went to Dapper Dan's.
Was it at nighttime?
Right after amateur night at the Apollo at
There
night.
was a lot of cocaine selling.
There was a lot of stuff going on there.
Let's
a lot,
take it from there.
right?
Let's go. Okay.
We walking, fabric everywhere. He's hustling. He's out there like he has lines. His cheapest velour sweatsuit at that time, we're talking the 80s, was $300. You know what that is now.
That's like 1,600 right now.
That's like 3 G's right
Just
now.
3 G's.
You know what I mean? From the 80s.
Shit.
Right?
Inflation.
That's without anything on it. So automatically, I just was seeing.
Okay, hold on. When you say without anything on it,
Okay.
let's just be clear.
Right.
You're talking about without logos.
Without logo.
So you saying just a velour
Plain
suit,
velour
it's a velour,
sweatsuit, nothing
was
on
300.
it. 300, right? And then it went up from there. Like, I remember Diane Dixon, right? She ran track, Olympic star. Shout out to Diane. We both were cool. But, like, I remember when she bought that jacket she bought, and he was making mink coats, reversible, Gucci, everything. He was doing it better than they were at that time. So, for me, the light bulb went off. Like, we have nothing like this in Brooklyn for us, because y'all have to understand, Brooklyn was very different than Harlem.
Right.
Harlem was very different than Queens.
Yes.
Boroughs were everything.
At Queens, we had the Coliseum Mall. Harlem, you had Dapper Dan. Brooklyn, you had Albee Square Mall.
Yeah, we definitely had that.
But that was only known for gold fronts?
No, I mean, kind of. We used to go to Canal Street, and we went to Canal
Okay.
Street.
Look, he still go to Canal Street right now. You see, look at.
I think a lot of people.
He
He goes to
go to
Canal
the flea market out here. The flea market out here is Canal Street. Make some noise for Sunny DVD.
And also, the Diamond Exchange.
Ooh, Diamond Exchange.
47th
Yeah.
Street. You know,
Yeah.
so it was a few options, but some cats went to Albee Square.
So
Mall.
let me ask you something. Growing up in hip hop, what was the first hip hop brand that actually hit? Was it FUBU?
No, so for us, it was for me. I'm gonna answer Walker Wear, but I'm gonna say like we were.
Wait, hold on. Let's make some noise for that.
You wouldn't consider cross color was
Cross
not
colors,
as
damn
respected.
it.
So cross colors. So what happened was just a timeline. So I opened Fashion in Effect, and Carl Kanai had a tailor shop in Flatbush called. It was a tailor shop, and then it was him and AZ, and then in another part of Flatbush there was Miguel Navarro. God bless the dead.
Wow.
And it was the three of us, and we were making a lot of stuff. Now Carl came out to LA to try to figure it out, the production. I'm still at Fashion in Effect, and then during this storm brewing, Cross Colors started bubbling out of LA.
Now, Cross Colors and Damage, was they both black owned?
Cross Colors was Damage.
Damage was in black. You fucking on my childhood right
No,
now.
Damage was not.
I always thought Damage was. And look at you, Rastaman. Yeah, Rastaman thought it was Damage too, right? So Damage was not black owned. That's fucked
Not
up.
to my knowledge.
Holy moly, guacamole. Okay, all right.
They did a lot of damage in the. They did.
Oh, shit.
Everybody wore it. Like I just mean like everybody
Okay,
would wear
Cross
it.
Colors was though.
Cross Colors was. They were. If you remember, they were the first brand to be on Black Enterprise as the first $100 million brand in sales. So that was like the first one to like break through. The
And were
door
they
hard.
who's created cross colors?
Carl Jones and T.J. Walker, two brothers.
Okay.
So now, what they? I mean, I was too young at that time to think about it. I was born in '77, so I wore Cross Colors, but I didn't know was the culture actually accepting Cross Colors.
It seemed like
So
it
we had
wasn't.
we had this conversation on a plane. I
Okay.
flew in with Cliff Love. Shout out to Cliff. He actually danced with Houdini and then went on to do all this amazing product placement in the field. But we were talking about it, and the East Coast didn't really wear cross colors too hard. It wasn't like a diss, but they were very colorful. And you got to think early '90s, late '80s. New York wasn't doing colors like
Right,
that in a
right,
big
right.
way. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was more the West Coast.
Right.
But some people did wear it, and they wore the black, red, and green
And that's why it
suits.
popped up in a lot of like sitcoms and stuff.
Yeah,
It was
they had the
West Coast
product
brand.
placement.
Right.
Strong.
To me, Cross Colors was lit, but I was like 8 years old. So, all right. All
No,
right. So,
and it was cool. It was just different.
so I want to, because when we Google your name, so many pictures come up.
Mm-hmm.
So many beautiful pictures of artists that we can never, ever interview.
Right.
We can never speak to them. So I would like to
Talk.
go to a couple of your pictures and ask you the story that you remember from this.
Okay.
And obviously we're gonna start with Tupac.
Okay.
That Tupac picture, when we Google you, that Tupac picture comes up.
There's a couple, isn't there? No, there's more than one.
But it's that one with the jersey on.
Mm-hmm. So
And-
I wasn't there that day.
It, how does this picture happen?
Okay.
Did he buy it? Did he call you? Did you send it to him? What is this? How does this happen?
So, Ed Lover, Mark Sex, there was a crew. Mark Sex was part of No Face. No Face was under the umbrella of Def Jam. Def Jam, they had a label out of Queens, right? So, like, they were Ed Lover's people, like Stretch.
Was Live Squad?
Walker,
I'm gonna say
Live
yeah,
Squad,
Live
all
Squad.
of them,
Stretch.
right?
Yeah,
so,
okay.
so I knew all of them. So I started styling. Like they had BWP, Bitches with Problems, and I was styling at this time too, right? I'd started styling from Fashion in Effect. My first styling job was with Audio 2.
Audio 2.
I don't
Two's
care.
Audio.
That crashed up Benz. That was
Whoa.
us and Shirt Kings. We did that together. So that was the
hold
first
on.
thing.
You're dropping way too much science. Let me just for the listeners that don't know. I'm from Queens, born and raised. At one point, if you didn't have a shirt from Shirt Kings, you wasn't fly.
Right.
You had to actually go there and get your shirt spray painted.
Absolutely. Shout out
Like with
to
your
Shirt
name
Kings.
on it, and you had to go back to the hood. Like you had to go all the way there, then go back to the hood, and have your shirt spray painted and be like, yeah, that's my
Legendary.
name. So I just wanted, when she said Shirt Kings, I can continue.
Shout out to Shirt Kings for sure. They were one of the first too when we talk about first, right? Shirt Kings. We can't say not them. We gotta say them.
Right.
Yep.
I never looked at Shirt Kings as merchandise though.
Yeah, but they were kind of like,
You're
they
right.
just don't get that credit.
You're right.
They really did
And
a
that
lot
spread
for the
everywhere.
culture.
'cause
Everywhere.
Out here in the swap
LL
meets,
Cool
we
J,
had it.
everywhere.
Yeah. But I'm saying people were copying that style of doing
Oh, right.
that everywhere
Right.
out here. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So go ahead, you finish.
So Stretch and Pac started hanging out.
Right.
And I don't remember which came first, but I remember seeing them on a set when I was styling BWP.
Right.
And then another time, I think it might have been when I went to trial for Juice.
To be in the movie?
Yeah.
What role?
I just really wanted, at this time, I was still doing fashion and effects, so I wanted to get my clothes out there. So any way I could, I was hustling. So I wore a custom velour sweatsuit that was crazy with the bucket hat. And I had my cards.
I'm with you. Which role though?
I didn't get any of them. It doesn't matter.
It
It does not matter. But I remember him stopping me like, yo, where you get that? And I was like, I made it.
And when you say him, you
Tupac.
Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Gave the card. And so, and I don't know if that was the first or the second time, but we kept seeing each other to the point where
But your brand wasn't known yet when you meet
it wasn't. I was still doing a lot of styling.
Right.
And I was making suits at this time. I was doing something called the Rough and Rugged suit, which was like,
I got that in my notes.
okay, yep, it was a heavy denim suit.
Look, rough and rugged suit. Just
That's
so you
right.
know. Just so you know. It's in my notes.
On your
All right,
job.
Cool. All right, cool. Cool. Go ahead.
Yep, but this Rough and Rugged suit caught fire. So like crossover, you think about the video with EPMD, they went like all black with velour, like
Yeah.
that was that suit. But then we started doing it in denim, and just a lot of people started wearing it. So that gave me the gumption to start Walkerwear. But Pac, it was me seeing him styling a lot of different people, because we started styling a lot of people as well.
So how did so from the store?
From the store.
Store
so,
to styling.
So what happened was,
What happened was go ahead.
we're at the store. This is still the 80s, and we didn't have the internet. We didn't have anything.
Right.
So
Only
word of mouth was
yeah.
the credible. So I remember Milk and Giz coming in. Light and Swatch told Milk, and he was doing his cover.
Brother and sister, right?
Yep, and they were like, I want Brooklyn.
Milk and MC Light. Milk D.
Milk and Giz, and Milk is MC Light's sister?
Brother? Yeah.
And then Shaggy, Shinehead,
Yeah.
right? This is old school, but they're classic, and they are legends in Brooklyn. So Brooklyn was fine in Brooklyn. And then one day, little round kid, Biggie Smalls, 15 years old, he walked in. We had the airbrushing. We were doing airbrushing. We were doing
he walked in the
acrylic,
store?
fashion and effect. Now, Big was from my neighborhood, so I'd always see him on the corner coming out the train. We'd always nod, but I didn't know him. But this airbrush shirt stopped him, came in the window, found out he was, his love was hip hop.
And he was Biggie at the time. He wasn't notorious.
He wasn't notorious.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he was still like trying to get signed.
He might have not even been Biggie yet.
He wasn't. He was
Right.
just rapping, and he was like talking to me, and real cool. And that he started supporting us, and that's how we built those relationships. So from that, Milk came back. That's how I started finding out about styling. After we did that cover, he was like, "Can you guys style our video?" And I was like, yeah, I didn't even know what styling was. But I was like, yeah, if we get paid for it too. So we styled the video, and
Don't tell me this Milk is chilling. Don't tell me
it wasn't that
video.
one.
All right, cool.
But from that, I saw, wow, that's another revenue stream branch, and we needed them all. So I was like, we're going to start styling. And that's how we started styling. We did Shaq. We did everybody
Did you
from
say Shaq?
to like with his videos, Fushnikins,
Shaq Fu?
like
Is Shaq Fu
they,
the name of the song?
Y'all smooth. We don't got nothing.
there's a
to
lot of
prove.
walkaway in that. We did a lot. We did LL Cool J's tour. We did like from one end of it to the other. All N.O.R.E by Nature. I styled them for years. Run DMC.
For years, people
Years,
thought that
Tupac.
Run DMC and N.O.R.E by Nature owned walkaway.
Yeah, I was very ambiguous on purpose because I remember having a conversation with my father when I was first deciding I was gonna go for it with walkaway, and I was like, I don't know if they'll accept a woman making men's clothes, you know, and he was like, well, if you got a chance, don't do it.
Wow, so purposely you stayed in the background.
I just was like, let the product lead. Just make dope product, put it out there. Let that be the star and let people rock it. Like, we never had official ambassadors.
Right.
It was just love at that time with hip hop. Like, hip hop was energy feeds energy, and we were all building and growing at that time. So it was just like, I believe in you, you believe in me, let's rock.
But you were officially styling them, right?
I was styling some of them,
But who was
and
the
then
first
some I
one
wasn't
to wear
styling.
walkaway? Who was the very first one? If we were giving their flowers right now, very first one that was famous.
Come on.
Or a couple of the first ones.
Okay, so I would say Milk. I would say Audio 2. I would say Sean Head and Shaggy.
Damn, Sean Head and Shaggy. Let's make some noise for Sean Head and Shaggy.
And then right after that, Pac and all the, you know, like I gotta.
This is Pac, still Digital Underground. Pac.
It's digital.
Right,
I met him when he was a roadie, and then he became that, and then he kept growing. Then when he did Above the Rim, he called and he was like, "Yo, I'm doing this movie. I want you to do the clothes for the movie." So I remember him. I met him, and we went to the trailer. I met the costume designer, the costume wardrobe, Karen. And he was telling her, I want her to do all of, and she was like, she can't do everything. He was like, well, I want all black designers. So
really?
I got to do the camouflage outfit in that. That's walkaway.
Right.
And also that hooked vest, that scene with him in the gray with the pants and the shirt, I did that. And then I was like, if you need more black designers, call 5001 Flavors.
Troy.
That's how they got in it.
Troy.
I was with Troy the other night before I came.
Goddamn, make
He
some noise
said,
for Troy.
what's up?
Make some noise for Troy. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I always thought y'all had it. I don't want to say like a given. I thought y'all had it made. I thought if you was a black designer, you came with LL, like you walk in with LL and you just get a deal. Like I thought walkaway. You guys just had Tupac. And you just and you guys just had a deal. I had no idea the struggle that you guys. I mean, researching you, like it was bittersweet because some of it I cried and I was like, really, this is what black designers go through. And when you hear Kanye going on a rant, and you just be like, Kanye's like, well, you don't know what's going on, and then you actually listen to the names that he was saying, and you go back and research a little bit. You like, he has a point. I had no fucking idea.
Yeah, it's been a journey for sure. Add putting a woman into that equation and then being black and Mexican, and not being. And I was
black and Mexican. Oh, I'm black and Puerto Rican.
Shout out to the tribe.
Oh shit, she said Flexican. I've never heard that term. That is hard. Put it in the drink champs dictionary.
Hardcore.
So wait a minute, hold on. Because before we get into the woman part, because we have to get into the woman part, right? But I just want you to describe how hard it is for a designer.
Period.
Just period. Yeah, first. And then I want to get into designer ending being a woman. So because this is us from the outside looking in.
This is early before hip hop fashion is.
Before
And you gotta
styling
realize,
was
if we see it on Video Music Box,
Right.
we think it's it. Like it doesn't matter if it's a headband,
Right.
if it's a pouch.
Right.
If we see it on Video Music Box, we're saying these people made it.
Right.
So, starting your brand, first we had the store. The store was to keep people fresh. Then you started styling. how much courage did it take to say, you know what? I don't want to be competing, because I think you said you had a fashion show, and Jimmy Jazz you invited, and all of them they invited, but that's a lot of courage. So how do you develop that courage to say, you know what? I'm going from styling to this is me, and I want to invite these people.
So I think that honestly, I was naive to fear, and I think my parents and I had a good support system. When I say that, I mean, I grew up, my father was in the music industry.
Wow.
So my father, I grew up as a jazz baby. He managed a lot of jazz greats like McCoy Tyner, Gary Bartz.
Wow.
And then by the time I was a teenager, he started managing D-Train, Jazz, Jay-Z, all these people my pops was working with. So I grew up watching him literally dance to his own beat. Like,
okay, I think what you just said just went over my head. Did you say jazz and
Jazzo?
Jay-Z? Like Jazzo? All right, I thought you were talking about jazz music. Okay, all right, cool.
No, she went on.
Yeah. She just lost on us. It went over my head. It went over my head. Okay.
So my pops, right, we were in Brooklyn, and I used to hang in Marcy, and I heard about these kids that could rap their ass off, and I gave my father his demo, and then they started, and we were all cool, you know?
Because you also got Jay-Z and some Walker wear.
That's how that all happened, you know what I mean? It was just like a family affair, and then Guru,
Keith, rest in peace.
Yep, moved in and was my next door neighbor, right there, when he first came to Brooklyn from
Boston.
Wow.
And
so that's how we got cool. Premier, all of us, you know.
Obviously, he wasn't Guru then.
Yeah, he was Keith.
Okay, he was Keith. Okay. Yeah.
And and so, and then context-wise, Keith lived, Easy Mo B lived next door to me in the next building. So when Pac, so when Pac was doing that album
with him, what kind of water was y'all drinking there? Because everybody
talented block.
No, I'm giving you Clinton Hill. Like Rosie Perez lived on the next block, and she still does. You know what I'm saying?
Did she have that voice back then?
We still,
Same
cool
voice
to this day. Rocking out from there. So like the neighborhood was very creative, and we were all like on this like Voltron.
Is this where Do the Right Thing was based out of?
That area, because Spike was right there too.
Wow.
This is crazy.
This is crazy.
Y'all should make a documentary about that neighborhood. Like
that neighborhood. Wesley lived over there, like
Wesley Snipes?
I love how she calling everybody for their first name.
First and last.
Wesley. Wesley who?
It was a special time.
Right. Wow, holy moly.
But yeah, no. Like, I wasn't trying to name drop, seriously. I was trying to give you context of like what was happening, that energy. But getting back to what you said, I think that it just was that time, and it was special.
So, all right, this commercial, right? This is where I think hip hop took a turn in fashion. LL does his commercial. For Gap, I believe it is.
Yeah.
But in Gap, he has a FUBU shirt on. Or was it a FUBU hat?
I think the hat, yeah.
And
So, me as an outsider looking in, did that help the fashion industry? What kind of message was that when he did that? Because obviously, you know, especially now you see Gap doing business with Kanye West. But this was actually the first time we seen Gap do business with people that look like us. But then the business that he did that looked like us, he sent a message to us, whether it was the hat or the shirt, that we still for us, by us.
Right.
What kind of message did it send to the fashion industry?
Oof.
And we had Damon and LL talk about this with us.
Yeah.
But I want to hear her.
So I'm gonna answer that first, and then I want to double back to how hard it was as a designer, because I don't think I gave that due justice, that answer, if that's cool. Oh man, the message was so strong. It was everything. That commercial was everything. I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, yes, for the win for us. Because you talk about how hard it was. We had to figure out ways to make something out of nothing every time, because we didn't have the same dollars, marketing dollars as Ralph Lauren, as Tommy Hilfiger. So we had to fit in the culture however we could get it, you gonna get it. You know what I mean? So that was brilliant to me, and it was so clever because they let it happen.
Right.
And they were so clueless to the culture that they didn't
like
even,
graffiti.
but they
It's
didn't
like
know
getting up.
whoever did that ad. I'm sure that commercial, they probably got fired after. But it was brilliant for FUBU, and it was just like such a message to the culture. Like, we're here, we're unapologetic, and the best. You know what I mean? It was so dope to me.
Because that was like the first time that we actually felt like, because now people started to research FUBU, right?
You will see us. That's what that was.
Yeah.
Regardless, you're gonna get this work in a Gap ad or not. You know.
Right. So a lot of people started to realize at that very moment that rappers are not just brand ambassadors, just people that is promoting the product, but rappers are actually a part of the brand.
Absolutely.
An extension of the brand.
And if we have to talk about that, we cannot say that. We can't say FUBU without LL.
Right.
Because he was, to me, the foundation.
Right.
I still have their first ad with them in front of the house. You know what I mean? Like, like LL got them to the point when the world knew about them. That Gap ad was a big part of it. You know what I mean? But like, he pushed, and it's almost like a nod to the culture, right?
Right.
So it was besides them having dope product, that's what it was.
So you said that first ad, you see, still got the first FUBU ad, and what is that?
They're all in front of, like, I don't know if it's Damon's or a Queen's house, and they got hanging out the car, and it's cool.
And LL's there too? LL's there. Man, listen, man, y'all gotta stop downplaying rappers' influences, man. Okay.
So wait, you asked me about the designer. Let me just answer that real quick.
Yes.
It's hard as hell for a designer. And it's really hard because
don't worry, this N.O.R.E a minor of Brooklyn. This is Brooklyn. This is Brooklyn shit. She ain't flinched not one time. Don't worry about it. She's good. She's used to it. I don't know.
Yes, I am.
yeah. Go ahead. Designer.
It's just period. It's so competitive now. It's way more competitive than when I started. When I started, there wasn't streetwear. There wasn't urban fashion. There was nothing. It was like going into the Wild Wild West. Like, it wasn't there. So we were literally creating it, right, by trusting our instincts. I reverse engineered into the business because I didn't have a blueprint. I was literally feeling hip hop.
Wow.
And like listening to how we felt and expressing that. And that's how my team was expressing it. And that's what translated into the clothing, right? But we couldn't go in a store and buy anything that looked like us, that felt like us at that moment. It wasn't there yet.
And the popping stores was A&S at that time, right?
A&S and Maze.
I'm too old school.
Maze, you know about that, okay?
A&S.
It was
I ain't gonna lie, I used to
A&S.
get dipping A&S. Look, niggas laughing at me.
Absolutely. A&S was like Macy's back then, you know? So it was...
A&S was the first Macy's,
It
right?
was.
For real.
We had Bird Eyes down here in Miami.
It was, you did.
Bird
Let's
Eyes.
welcome Diego back out there. Let's make some noise, Diego.
A&S, B. Altman's. I don't know if you remember B. Altman's. That was on 34th Street. That was like, that was like a Macy's too. But yeah, so it was really hard. And in the beginning for us, it was really hard because nobody believed in hip hop. So the buyers were like, it's a fad, it's gonna go away, it's not gonna last. Why should we buy this? Why are your velour sweatsuits as expensive as Fila's? Who are you? You know, like, so we had to constantly tell them, no, it's gonna last. We had to do tricks like, I can remember to get in the doors, we were like one of the first, Carl Kanai, Cross Colors, 555 Soul, P&B, there are a few of us,
P&B,
you know what I mean? But we had to kick in those doors to open them up so that they became accepted in mainstream. And one of the tricks we did, I can
was
remember.
black owned too? You just said
They were Latinos, weren't
They
they?
were black. They're
brown.
melted
Okay.
black and brown.
Yeah, black and brown.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
black and brown.
thought they was
And
Chinese for
Asian,
some reason.
and
Oh, yeah, I
Asian,
think they- yeah,
Asian
okay,
too.
all right.
It was a
black brown.
couple people,
Shout
yeah.
out to Shara and Brew.
Right.
Anyway, we had to really fight for that space. We had to, because it wasn't accepted. Like the music was making money, but they thought it was gonna go away. They weren't believing in it yet. So I remember going to Def Jam, walking in one of the rooms, funny story, and it was a room full of interns. I was working with Def Jam at this time, doing a lot of styling and stuff. And I came in the room, it was all interns calling, asking for a record to be played in these record stores, like the record stores, they wanted to break these records. And a light bulb went off. And so I went back to the office, like, find the top 10 stores in the top 10 cities. In every hood star, find out where they're shopping right now. Like the Vinnie Styles of the world, like the, you know.
Wow, the Vinnie Styles.
Exactly.
Okay,
so we found out, right, with the 10 cities we wanted to be in, the 10 cities we needed to be in.
Let me go off top. Detroit was one of them?
At that time, yep. Detroit was one of them.
Miami was not.
Chicago was one of them.
Miami,
no,
just,
not then.
Just take
relax,
Miami out.
relax,
These
man.
niggas
Don't jerk us
Not
out.
yet.
Nah, just me neither. Okay. All right, so
But we called them for like 6 months.
okay.
And then we showed up with our velour sweatsuits. And they like, where you been? Everybody's been calling, we couldn't find you and stuff. The ones that didn't accept us, that when that didn't work, we say, let's put it in the window for look, we're gonna leave 6 suits with you. Just put them, give us real estate. Put them one in the window, put them in the front. Don't put us at the back.
Don't have to pay us.
Don't pay us. Just, this is what I like you to charge on consignment. We're gonna come back in a week. If they don't sell, no harm done.
Right.
And then we would send 6 of our friends in that week to buy them. So it just blow out, right? So between those 2 tricks, we built our market because once they sell, they believe in it and they start selling it for you, but they got to believe in it. So, you know, that's some of the stuff we had to do, but we just had to create that magic, just like hip hop.
God damn, that's make some noise for that.
Let me ask you. Keep clapping. We had Grandmaster Caz here, right? And he was talking about the commonality between punk rock and hip hop coming in. In the fashion side, I'm thinking it looks like the skateboarding world was doing urban fashion as well. Was there ever any?
Yes, there was an intersection. I think that people missed that part of it in the early 90s, the late 80s, like skate, surf,
right,
and hip hop. All like think about. I don't know if y'all remember OP, Ocean Pacific.
Absolutely.
Like,
Ocean Pacific. Of
yeah,
course
we
I
all
do.
rock that.
I went to
You know what I
Alexander
mean?
and got Ocean
So
Pacific.
you know about
Come on,
it.
you remember
Alexander. Shout out to Alexander.
Come on, y'all niggas ain't have it. That's where we had to go. To Alexander, baby. Alexander, Queens to the mall. Goddamn it, let's go.
The guy lives out here now. The guy
that owns
one of the guys who started.
That's dope.
Oh no, Ocean Pacific.
The guy that started Ocean Pacific.
Yeah, and I think his son's an artist now. But whatever. That's another
Yeah,
story.
that's
Really?
Yeah.
That was one of those brands that like crossed
Quicksilver,
it. Yep,
OP,
exactly.
yeah.
It was a lot of them. And then it was this show called the ASR, right? ASR show was like the magic show. The magic show.
Magic show,
Yeah, I got that in my notes too.
Yeah, it's
Magic
like a
show and
huge
fashion
show
week.
that comes that everybody from around the world comes to shop. That has a store and buys
original
for the
one
next.
was in Vegas.
In Vegas, still in Vegas, and literally the ASR show was like this skate surf show, but then hip hop was like we need to be there too. So because literally you could have on an OP shirt and then you could have on your denim oversized shorts and then you have on your kicks. So it was just like mixing it all together and everybody was vibing together. That's how the Lower East Side vibes were, or you know. Frisco, Oakland,
Right.
like those. It was that was the vibe.
Now let me ask you a fashion tip, and then we're gonna go to Quick Time with Slime. We're coming back to the Magic Show and then Vegas. Can you wear Nike with Adidas, or is that a staffala? I feel like
That don't feel right.
It's old school. See, I'm old school, so that doesn't feel right for me. Like
You cannot
it's
do
like,
that.
yeah, you gotta rock it all together. Like,
Yeah.
That looks wrong, man.
I'm just saying. I've been seeing a lot of our fashionados.
But it's
Being
no
caught
rules
slipping.
anymore. Like that's the thing. It's
Kanye
like no
clearly
rules.
was the other day sitting there with Yeezy everything on and a Nike sock.
That just bothers
He had
you,
to
right?
check.
Nah, for real?
Yeah, I'm dead serious. We pulling up the pictures. picture. We pull up the picture. And
Yeah, that's
dead
not-
serious.
that's
And I
not
sit there
good
and
branding.
I won't even go to the gym like that. I be looking because I'm like, someone's gonna take a picture of me with this fucking Puma sock on.
It feels like you're set tripping or some shit.
Hey man, listen, that's fashion tripping. That shit been way before set tripping. So you cannot do that. Let's just tell it to the young boys.
Yeah,
If you have on a Nike top,
if they're coming from my era, it was a no.
yeah, because they wilding out here.
They ain't wild.
They wilding.
It depends on what you repping. Like if you get money or you getting a check from Adidas or you
Okay.
getting a check from Nike, keep it consistent.
Okay, now let me just ask you this. That's on the lower end brand. Can you wear Louis with Goyard?
You can mix it up.
Is that not racist?
That sounds like a new segment. Is that not racist?
I'm not asking for me.
love it.
I'm not asking for me. I'm asking for somebody
I gotta
else.
think about
But
that.
just
one.
think about
I think about that.
Because this is true. I've seen people rock a Gucci belt,
Right.
Louis Vuitton hat. Louis Vuitton jacket.
When did you do this?
Fendi hat. I might have did it once or twice. It might have been me. It might have been me. But I've seen people repeat offenders.
Right.
I'm one. I made one felony. And that was it. Like people hit because my Instagram, they very negative people. So when I post shit, they're like, you got on the fucking Gucci belt. With such. But I see people get away when it's designer. But if I do Adidas, if I got on Yeezys, and I put on a Jordan hat, they're talking about my mother.
Really?
You asshole! What are you doing?
I think that might be more men like tripping on that. Like
No, it's
women,
men. It's for
yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
It's probably people I know. like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
But if they wear a Fendi hat with a Gucci belt, they could get away with it.
Well, so I was also gonna say it depends. Is it like logo? Because you can have on a Gucci shirt and nobody knows it's Gucci, and then have a belt on
That's
that just
Louis.
bring. You know what I mean? And people like if one part is understated, another part is overstated. You know what I mean? You
Right.
could do that. Like less is more sometimes. I think you can mix it up where it's not all
Sounds
in
like
your face.
The stylist in hers.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
just
stylists is her letting niggas get away with shit. Okay? Because I also heard you say that you thought that was the person that brung out the logos, like when the logos actually came. So you can't really have a real Fendi and then Nike pants on with the same type of logos. You're
that
out of
just
line.
bothers you, right?
Yeah, it doesn't sit right with me. But can you tell the people that did it wrong?
Keep it consistent. Go hard, right?
Can you help us? Can you help?
Go hard. I think that so it's hard to do that. That's like what I should say to you is it's like censorship. Me saying that.
Okay, like
For
if
real,
EFN
in
walked
fashion.
in with Walker wear headphones, Walker wear t-shirt,
I
and then had on.
No, but the shoes wouldn't matter at that point.
Then he had on Carhartt shorts. No, Carhartt shorts you could get away with.
I like Carhartt.
Yeah, you could get away with. Damn, I fucked up. I think I fucked up my analogy.
Good.
I'm gonna leave it alone.
It wasn't supposed to be.
It wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be. Let's move on, y'all. So now the magic show.
Yep.
The magic show was legendary. Now let me actually
Okay,
talking
yes.
going kind
I got
of
mad
it's
notes,
kind of
I'm
connected
sorry.
to the magic show, but asking about how things evolved for you guys. I had a store. That's how we met. I opened up a store with my partner Eddie Gigs called Crazy Goods here in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Okay.
it was hard to get these brands.
What year?
97. And even then, it was hard to get the brands down here. So and we had Woo Wear, Nietzsche.
Right.
What was some of the other brands we had? Echo was at that time when they came with the tapes. Who? Mecca.
How about Esco?
Esco.
Okay.
Yeah, so we was trying to get all that stuff, but this is the problem that we ran into, that retail wasn't really my passion. I was
Right.
doing this to create a hub for hip hop locally.
Okay.
But then I quickly found out I really don't like retail because the only way they were selling to us was in packs.
Right.
bulks,
Pre-packed.
like Costco's.
You had to buy in packs, pre-packs,
certain amount.
because we were young men with no credit
That's it.
in retail credit, and they were forcing us to buy these packs in order to carry these brands, and they were pre-packed, and then they were sending us all the stuff they couldn't sell. That was usually sweaters and pants that were 45 ways or 48 ways and I was catering to high school kids at the time. And
this dude's in there with
eventually
44 waist.
it wasn't gonna work.
Right.
You know? And then
Don't be fat shaming, all right?
we lasted till about 2000 until finally the department stores locally
Right.
started buying, and then that made it even worse because then
Harder for
they
you.
brought down the price, and we had to hike up the price because of the packs, you know. And all that. So did you guys know that was happening?
Oh yeah.
And was it because it almost felt to us like, man, do these brands not know that we're all the culture here? Let's win.
So basically, what you're saying in a smaller shell is Walker Wear was priced at one price in New York City, but when it came to the South,
No.
Okay.
That's not what I'm saying. It made it hard for a small boutique hip hop clothing store to be in business. Is what I'm saying.
This is good, by the way.
Okay.
Shout
That's
out
Organic Food Kings.
Yeah, I love
Organic
it.
Food Kings, goddamn. Yeah.
Shout out to them.
Yeah. It's our vegan people.
Yeah,
Goddamn.
it's good.
Did you guys like? What was your thinking knowing that was going on?
So let me explain the back end of that, because I definitely feel your pain. For us, being young designers, being a designer, period, we needed to pay our bills, right? So, black and brown designers, here's another challenge we have. There's something called minimums when you produce in fashion at the factories. And the minimums then weren't low. Just like when you go to buy a house, sometimes black and brown have to pay more.
Right.
And then, so same thing, like if you want to be in this business, we need 1,200 units per color in your order.
Right.
We have to sell into that. And when you are ordering, like, I want one small, I want 3 mediums, it's very hard for us to do business with the factories that way.
Right.
So we have to buy in bulk. And then we have to do our homework in the math. We got to look at the averages around the country and say, mediums and larges are selling the most. Smalls are selling the least. Double X's are selling. This was the business, not just us, it's everybody, right? So you put together your size scale and say, this is how I think my hood is gonna buy, my customer. And then you say, I need to get $2,500 in a minimum order if you wanna play. Because if it's not that, because here's what was happening on our end. Like, I'll give you an example. I had a distribution almost deal a few times. One was with Threads for Life with Cross Colors. One was with USA Classics, which they had Everlast, Danskin, Fat Farm, all these people.
Wow.
But when you deal with them, they want big numbers. It's just like the record and, distribution.
Big
So
numbers meaning like
they want you to
sales?
sell.
Okay.
Now, I'm doing a dance because I'm not independent totally anymore, right? I got to make them happy, but at the same time, I'm not whoring my brand.
Right.
I don't want it in 10 stores on every block. So I'm going to make sure that if I'm going to build with you in your store, I'm treating you right. But you're going to be exclusive in your hood, but now you got to buy into my business and you got to build with me. Invest. And that's the only way it's going to be sustainable. Now I have to have a conversation with the retailer because he doesn't want to sell you. He wants to sell the guy down the block that can do bigger numbers because that's all they care about. And I have to be like, nah, he's official. We're going to go with this guy. So we had to have minimums to pay bills. And then on the other side, often my business was percentage. So I took a loss, a certain percentage, knowing I was going to take a loss because dudes were buying off their credit cards or doing COD at that time. And a lot of people was just luck. Like I'm investing in the hood like they're investing in me. I pray they pay their bills. But sometimes, a lot of the times that came back, they bounced them and stuff like that. So that's cost of business, So I had to write that off, but just keep trusting the hood and then fight with the dudes that were the distributors. So all that stuff was happening. That's the business.
So as I was watching a documentary, right? I seen Misa talk about times where she styled a person, and then they took the style from her and didn't call her back.
Right.
And when it came time for, so I have to ask you the same thing. It was at the time you styled the artist, and the artist blew up, and then it came time for them to like show love back and say, you know what, I'm doing this shoot in Paris, and I can have you, but I'm gonna hire Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah, I'm sure they were.
Because you're not drinking, so usually this is an easy question.
Yeah,
Someone would say,
I'm sure
yeah.
it was so and so. I can't say like per se, because I did have a lot of love when it came to the tribe, but I walked away at the height of what was perceived success for
That's
a minute.
my next question.
Yeah, so I didn't really have that problem per se. I think that it was more problems like, honestly, being a woman in a man's world, sometimes not getting paid, like trying not to pay me. And I had to put that ugly head down to make sure I got paid. You know what I mean? Stuff
But no
like
one
that.
actually fronted on you when they...
I never got fronted on in that way, because we leaned out of the styling and really focused on the business of walkwear after a while, and did more of that than anything.
Like nobody you gave walkwear to, and then they blew up afterwards and then didn't want to wear walkwear anymore?
Oh, I'm sure that happened. I mean, because this time around, it's a lot harder than it was last time. So when you asked before about designers then and designers now, there are a lot more designers, and we're living in the age of technology. And so it's ADD. And a lot of times, the last thing you see is what you love. It's not like loyalty anymore. You know, where I came up in loyalty in a different time of like brands meaning something of substance. I think you got Fashion Nova, you got all this disposable clothing. You know, like, to me, that for us, by us was real.
Right.
It's a different time now, like, and in terms of the thought process of, like, I see you, I'm gonna rep my people. You know, I don't see that so much anymore.
Right.
You know, I think we were trending last year,
Right.
but I think it's going back to business
Wow.
as usual. So, and I see it, you know. Last year was our best year yet. We had a killer
In
year
design.
in walkwear,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
But I just think that I want to see how sustainable that is for us.
Right.
Us, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, in terms of black and brown designers.
Now you had like what we like to call the Dave Chappelle syndrome, meaning you walked away at your height. A lot of people don't understand that. Like I was hanging with Dave Chappelle the other day, and I'll never ask him this, and he'll just voluntarily say, "Man, I just wanted to leave." And I'll be looking at him because I was such a fan of what he was doing. I don't want to ask like, why the fuck would you walk away, or why did you do that? But I got you here. Like, so because that was the rumor. Like, why would she walk away? The company is doing great. The clothing is selling. You know, why did you walk away when you walked away from walking away?
I think that I started in this business right when I was 21 when I started with Fashion in Effect.
Wow.
So I was still a junior in college, and I literally...
You still look 21, by the way. Let's just make some noise. Yeah.
Thank you. I'll take that today.
Continue.
All right, I'll take that. Thank you. Thank you. But I started at 21, and it was just me falling in love with hip hop, literally, and knowing I didn't want to work for someone else, right? And then I found something that I was like, I can definitely... I was a hustler, so I knew how to...
I'm elongating this, but I want you to answer this question, but was there any other women inspirations that owned
At that
a company
time?
at that time? Yeah. No?
It wasn't.
Okay, so, all right.
So now fast forward, I watched it become this multi-billion-dollar business. And I watched a lot of designers get screwed over.
Right.
I've met with a lot of designers. I always say, hold your trademarks. Those are your masters, right?
Wow.
But a lot of people didn't understand it.
Killed that. Make her noise for that.
I got... Sometimes if you are in love with something and you get to see the inside navigations of it, you could fall out of love, you know. And the fashion business mirrored the music business. So to give you context, in the 90s, all the black music label divisions started closing up. You remember that?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
And shortly after that, they started saying urban fashion was going to be dead, the decline of urban fashion. I saw the writing on the wall. I started telling everybody. I had something called Alliance of Minority Designers, where I brought us all together. Like, I'm buying 10,000 yards, you're buying 10,000 yards, let's buy it together, let's build.
Yards of thread? For
like,
clothing?
yeah, for like denim or whatever.
Okay.
Just this power together.
Right.
Like, if we do this together, we will be the industry, because we were all getting it. But I think early 20s, it was ADD without the internet. You know what I'm saying? They at the bar, like, let's live, you know? So fast forward 99, 98. This is after Mike wore my stuff in the ring. Like, it was at the height of...
You gotta slow down. When you say Mike, you gotta talk about Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson.
Yeah, because our viewers are a little crazy. All right, they're just thinking regular Mike from PS13.
Sorry.
Let's just make you know what Mike Tyson's talking about. Yeah, continue.
It was all these moments that led up to this space, but I felt very heavy. It was all about the business. I was watching.
That sounds like Dave Chappelle.
It was a lot. It was a lot. It was
when you see Dave Chappelle walk away, did you relate to that?
I related everything. I related everything. Like, it was, everyone was congratulating me, and you can't even understand this, but literally it's gonna sound crazy. But the seasons were changing, and I wasn't even seeing that, because I was so focused and so like stressed on what was ahead that I wasn't seeing. I could see you and not see you.
Wow.
But it wasn't me being flaky or stuck up. It was just that my mind is somewhere else. You know what I mean? And I had to catch myself, like, everyone's congratulating me, but I feel like shit. I had a New York showroom, a LA, and a Vegas showroom, and I'm traveling all the time. It was all over the place, and I wasn't being creative, number one. I went to Magic. It looked like a shit show. It was just like a circus. Everybody trying to get free product. It was just who could have a bigger booth. No disrespect to everybody, but it just became this big marketing vehicle of like, who had the biggest guns, but we weren't doing business anymore. And I saw the decline coming, because I'd already seen what was happening in black music. It was just a ripple effect, because fashion and music are the two biggest forms of inspiration. And for us, it's our culture. So I knew what was coming. Like, I just was like, I'm out. You know what I mean? Like, I chose me. That's literally what happened. Because I was almost afraid to walk away at that point.
Wow.
Because I was so attached at that moment to walk away. And it's like, when I feel like it's like that, it's time to walk away.
So let me ask you, bouncing around, did someone come and buy the brand?
No, I owned it. I owned all the equity in it. I just shelved it to take my USA.
And the way that you describe Magic is the way that the conferences seem, the music conferences started to turn into.
Yeah.
How hard is it to get into Magic?
So Magic, you buy a booth. It's an approval process. You buy a booth.
Like the Grammys almost.
It's your Grammys.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? And you come. And I remember the first time we did it, we didn't even have they didn't put us on the floor, because there was no streetwear or anything. It was just like, we don't know where to put you. So it was myself, it was Carl Kanai, and it was Cross Colors. And they gave us a conference room right outside of it. And we made a booth. We made a booth that was a jail cell. And we sent out invites that said, come serve your sentence. And we invited all the buyers, and they all came.
You Carl Kanai and Cross Colors.
That's dope.
We each did like $2 million at that show, and then we were on the floor after that. That was like when it first started.
So let me ask you, was there other black designers on the floor that wasn't y'all, but black designers that wasn't hip hop?
Right.
I have no idea. I can't even confirm that.
Okay, all right, that's cool. That's cool. I'm just trying to picture this is a movie. Though.
But what I can confirm is it felt like you could hear a pin drop at Magic at that point.
When y'all stepped through?
It was like, no disrespect, used car salesman, a table, quiet. Here's a shirt, here's a jacket. You know, it was quiet. It was very Wonder Bread.
Wow. And was FUBU bigger at that time?
FUBU wasn't out yet.
FUBU wasn't even out yet.
They weren't there yet.
Holy moly, guacamole.
I remember when they first were starting, they came, like I met with them, yeah.
Wow. Oh, they was coming to you?
Yep, before they started.
Holy moly,
Puffy,
guacamole.
Bad Boy, like a lot of people came and talked when they were starting.
When they started, they coming. Okay, how about Rockaware?
Rockaware, Dame. A matter of fact, I told, Dame and me talked a lot. And when he tried to do it himself, I remember when they went, was it John Street? They were downtown. They had an office downtown, and he decided he wasn't going to do it his own. But he'd bought like 7 machines, and he called me like, yo, you want these 7 machines? Like, I'm not going to do it myself. I came and got them, and yeah.
Oh, okay, damn, but hold on.
You took the machines off his hand?
Yeah, I took them. Like, he was like, I can't do this myself. You know, like, I guess he tried.
Wait a minute. All right. For a kid that is
clueless, right?
Clueless,
yeah.
That wants to start fashion. Hold on. Are you saying you guys could literally have your own machines and make your own clothes yourself?
That's right.
Get the fuck out of here! I never really I always thought you guys would make a T-shirt or something and send everything else to China.
Well, you can do that too, but when we started, literally, I started out of my house before I had the store. And literally, I made my own cutting table. I was not sewing, but I was designing. And then success leaves clues. So I had borrowed some adapts, tailors,
wow,
and some other people that I knew. Bell had people uptown in Harlem, and people that were doing what we loved. And I was like, that's the formula right there. So come over here. This is how I want to design. This is what I want to do. Can you make it? So we bought the fabric. We were the creative directors and the designers. And then we set up the tables. We bought the machines. We could see what everybody had, from jukis to singers. And we got busy.
She said success leaves clues.
No, but hip hop, we thought we made our own music, sold our own tapes. That's the real fucking shit. Like you can cut your own shit and
sell it.
Holy moly.
Go take them 6th floor suits, consignment, make it real.
Well, okay. First of all, let's make some noise for that. What were the 5 hottest spots in New York City at that time when you wanted to get your clothes? Just the 5. It doesn't have to be the 5 boroughs.
Right.
You can just tell me just the 5. Just 5.
Simon's was one.
Simon's?
Simon's was one for us.
Where was Simon's at?
Simon's was on Belmont in Brownsville.
Okay, I definitely ain't go there.
Okay, yeah, Simon's was one.
Wasn't going to Brownsville back then.
Dr. J's back in the day. Dr. J's was a spot.
Wow. Okay.
I would say before that, even AJ Lester's uptown.
Okay, AJ Lester, heard of that.
It was where else were we shopping, Shonda? Nah, that wasn't even out yet though. Dr. J's. Like, there weren't a lot of hot spots in Brooklyn to me. Like, we would have...
New York City, period.
New York, you were going to Macy's, you were going to A&S, you said a lot of them. Like
Shirt King.
Yeah, Shirt King. Oh, you mean stores. Like,
stores.
It could be anywhere.
Yeah,
it was, I would say Miguel. I would say Miguel Navarro. Shout out to Miguel. He was super dope. So Jesus, Kendu, Rasan. He made clothes for all of them. Like
Kendu, Rasan. Why I keep know this
so
name?
Those were
I feel like they used to sell mixtapes.
Kind of.
Okay,
they were in Brooklyn, out of Brooklyn, kind of mixtapes.
Cool.
You know, but they were legends in New York City. And when you think about them, Peter Shoe, you know, all those guys, we made clothes for all of them. And then, and Miguel was one. I made clothes. I would say Carl, his shop was a dope spot.
Carl Kanai,
Carl Kanai.
Okay, yes.
Shirt Kings, definitely. There was Bell Uptown. Shout out to Bell. And then there was Dapper Dan, of course.
God damn it. Let's make some noise for that. And it's a part of our show where we play a game. It's called Quick Time with Slime. You are not drinking,
Might as well pick Sonny.
Yeah, so you could pick someone out of the crowd and you can pick them, and they'll drink for you.
Okay.
So we're gonna give you multiple choice.
But wait, let's pick the person.
Listen, either of these two guys right there. Which one you feel? You know what? You can alternate.
Okay.
Each shot, you can be like, I feel like the Peruvian wrestler deserves it. Like, where's the shot glasses? Because we're gonna take a shots with her, right? Because she's not taking the shots, but we're gonna take a shot with her. And look, you could be totally, completely correct. You could say both.
Okay.
But when you say both, that means that they drink. One of them drink.
Yeah, both or either.
Both or either. You can look and
Both
say.
or either? Okay.
You can say both of them drink, or you can say just him drink. Because you could not like them. It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
So you asked me the question.
I asked you the question, and then you can do whatever you got to do. Okay.
So,
Are we ready?
So if I'm
No,
answering it, just answer the question.
If you answer both, then they drink.
Okay.
If you
Or
say
if you say neither, then they drink.
Okay.
Okay?
No, Sonny. Come on camera, bro.
Yeah, come on.
You're a part of the show now.
Yeah. And you too, Boris, come on. I know the first one that you should make them both drink. I'm just being honest.
Okay.
But I don't want to.
But we got to drink too, so relax.
Oh, fuck, I forgot. Because we holding you down.
Make your shot.
All right, shit, where's my Ciroc? Summer Colada. Where the Summer Colada at? All right, cool. But I'm pretty sure you're going to make them both drink and us drink for this shot. But I could be wrong.
Okay.
Everybody, hoite. Cámate. Nas or Jay-Z?
Oh, both.
There we go, goddamn. That's my type of play. Come on, let's do it.
I need one too.
Yeah, like this hot ass
You're
bottle.
driving me home. Relax. Right? Okay.
All right, dale cabrón. To motherfucking April Walker, goddamn. I knew she was gonna play the game. Even though I knew she wasn't gonna drink, but I knew she was gonna play the game. Okay, the correct way. Respect or loyalty?
I say respect because with respect you get loyalty.
DMX or Tupac?
I love. That's a hard one, man. Why you do that?
You ain't even got to do it. You can just have both of these bozo dudes take a shot.
Hey, we're taking a shot too.
Oh my God, I'm in there. We're gonna have us bozos. Yeah, make it have 4 bozos if you want.
Okay, so I love both, but I'm gonna have to go with Pop.
Okay. All right. Miami or LA?
Both.
Okay, there you go. Goddamn. There you go. Goddamn. I'm in.
Cheers.
I'm in. Take a shot, boys.
Oh man, this Mama Juan is not tasting.
Oh, you hitting that marijuana, huh? Okay.
Shout out Mama Juan.
Okay. Y'all ready? All right, y'all took your shot?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't take mine, so I'm sorry. I'm playing the game for real. 90s or 2000 hip hop?
90s.
I respect that. Pharrell or Kanye West?
Pharrell.
I'm about to take a shot because of how confident she was. I respected that. I don't even want to know why. Okay. This is a new question. They added this. Kanye sneakers or Pharrell sneakers? It is a twist.
Could be neither.
Can I say neither?
Yeah, but we got to drink. All right, we neither.
She said neither?
Neither.
Holy shit. This is a fashionado. This is y'all shit. Oh, shit.
I'm old school. I got on Stan Smiths.
Stan Smith is Adidas. That's right. Okay, all right. Okay. Yeah, you guys are assholes. Okay.
Yeah,
80s clothing versus 90s clothing.
Oh, that's kind of hard. Both.
Well, I mean, my shot is already poured. Salud.
Damn it, man.
Salud. There it is.
Salud.
Yo, come on, Boris, man. Come on, yo, this whole time you ain't have a shot? What are you doing? You gonna let down every walker right now.
Relax.
You don't let her down? You take a shot.
Relax, he's not drinking.
Who, Boris? Oh, he's got to drive?
Yeah, he's driving.
Oh, shit, I forgot. Sonny, that means you got to take double. You didn't drive, right? Or did you?
I'm good either way.
You know.
All right, cool. Well, take your shot, goddammit. Take your shot. I'm taking it too. Look, I'm taking it too.
Nah, Sonny took an Uber, man. Relax.
All right, cool. Okay. I don't know where you're going to go with this. This one, I'm very, very curious. One, because you're a hip-hop aficionado. And two, because you're a woman. We asked this to a lot of men.
Uh-oh.
Cardi B or Nicki Minaj?
Cardi.
You said that very fast and very confident. I'm going to have to ask why on this one.
Because I'm looking at the whole vibe. And I think that Cardi, we look at like what she's accomplished, like as a businesswoman, whew, fierce.
Okay. This one, I don't know where you're going. Puff Daddy or Dr. Dre? Shot? We in. If you want to go shot. If you want
In
to
what
pick.
way?
No, it's whatever the
Whatever
criteria
way,
in your mind.
same way you've been picking all everyone else.
It's whatever it is in your mind that makes you go either way.
I would have to say, from a music standpoint,
Whatever standpoint you
I'm
want.
going to go with Dre. From a business standpoint, both.
That sounds like a shot to me.
She picked, man. I ain't drinking.
All right, cool. I'll have one for
Let's
later.
go.
then.
Cheers,
Come on,
cheers.
let's go. Okay, podcast or radio?
Podcast.
I think I'm taking a shot for that as well. Come on,
That's your problem.
Come on. Come on, we in this together, baby. Come on. Let's do it. Salud. Ooh, that one was a little harsh. Okay.
You get to be so much, I think
Free
people
in
are,
podcasts,
yeah,
yes.
you really get to know people.
Okay. Major or independent?
Independent.
He just smiles every time someone says independent. Like, even if he doesn't smile, just look at his face. He's
Now you talking
smiling.
about me.
He's smiling. He just goes
Why?
like this.
I just think if you can survive independently and own everything,
That's it.
what I tell them, it's nothing against anything major, but if you own and you can survive independently, then you can take advantage if you go to a major, but you can still maintain ownership of something.
Absolutely.
If you
don't
go first, then you lose ownership.
I don't disagree with him. What I do believe is still own your brand, but use that major marketing
Yeah.
money.
Right, but that's
Do
not
both.
usually how it
do both,
happens.
yeah.
If you can
It's not usually how.
accomplish both. The nice part about ownership is legacy.
Right.
And that legacy you could pass on to your kids, your grandkids, and that's annuity growth and wealth.
God damn it. Listen, I'm for sure. I don't know what you're gonna say on this one.
But
I thought I was for sure, but I don't. Queen Latifah or MC Light?
both.
I'm for sure. I knew she was gonna say that. I was for sure, but I didn't want to say that because I didn't want to look stupid. But I was for sure. I said it first. I said I'm for sure. I'm for sure. I God damn it.
Cheers,
God damn
Paco.
it. I'm gonna be loose in carbones tonight. God damn it. Yeah, I'm ready.
You gotta let Boris take at least one, man. This
He could take a shot. One shot only.
Let him take one shot. God damn it.
I was in Lights, one of her first videos.
Light as a rock.
Paper.
Paper thin.
Paper thin.
Wow. You in?
Because what you tell to me is just
That's
paper
it.
thin.
On the train.
What a classic.
Classic.
We need them both on here, man. Light and Latifah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that would be dope. You gotta
Love
get
that.
them on.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna let you get away with this. But if Misa calls me I'm calling you because Groovy Lou or Misa.
You wrong on that one. I'm gonna go with both.
The reason why I'm gonna let you get away with that, but I feel like Misa taught Groovy. Am I inaccurate with that? I'm not sure.
A long time.
Groovy been. I didn't know that. I'm so sorry, Groovy. Please don't text me. Please don't text me on some bullshit.
Groovy's been in the game a long time, but he's definitely, taking note for the greats. But he been in. Groovy did one of my first campaigns, like way back.
Really?
Yeah, he's been in the game for a long time.
What year are we talking?
That might have been in like 90, 91, 92.
Okay, my bad, Groovy. I did not know. I'm so sorry. I'm taking a shot for not knowing.
For a long time.
She said both.
She said both anyway, so
Yeah.
I'm taking a shot for that. Holy shit!
Dale Chanchi.
All right, Dale Chanchi. All right.
That was a good one though.
That's that summer watermelon, by the way. All right, listen. I just want both of these people to know that we love them both. Mm-hmm. We just always ask this question because I feel like they both are a little mad at me for keep asking this question. Or Foxy or Little Kim. Get my shot ready.
Yeah, that's for me. It would be. I'm gonna say both.
Okay, April.
I love Kim though. I'm gonna say I love Kim. Kim's from my neighborhood, and so is Foxy. And so what they represent to the culture is priceless, and they both could spit fire. So I can't choose.
That is the greatest choice ever. Come on, goddamn.
And they can't be mad at hey, did you drink yours, buddy?
Oh
No,
shit! I tried to cheat this one.
Relax, man.
All right, huh? Biggie or Big Pun?
Big.
I respect that. Here's where I don't know where you're gonna go.
Okay.
I think we should do a drum roll. Carl Kana or Fubu?
Whew. I have to go with Carl because without Carl there wouldn't be Fubu.
I knew that answer. Cross Colors or Mecca?
I gotta go with Mecca because Tony Shellman was my first sales guy that started Mecca, and he started with me, and Tony helped me get them sales out there in a huge way.
These guys are doing a great job.
Look, he's wearing his glasses. He's trying to be fashionable today.
No, listen. I would have put Cross Colors against Damage. Oh, I know this is we still quick time with Sign, but was Paco good?
Paco? I liked Paco.
Paco was your homegirl just killed me. Your homegirl face. Listen, and she got a mask on, and I can still see her face.
That's
just so disgusted when I said Paco.
Paco had some fly stuff though too.
Okay, I thought Paco was fly.
They had some fly stuff, but
I
a
also
lot of
wore
people
Damage
didn't.
too, so I'm with the roster.
But I wore Damage too. So Used definitely.
Used
was out there too. It was so many.
There was okay, all right.
What you doing to
cool.
the
Your friend just hurt my whole childhood.
I like Paco. I didn't own it, but I did like it. All right, what we got?
Dapper Dan or Virgil?
Dan. Without Dan, there would be nothing else.
I respect that. They went a little crazy with this one. But Rhapsody or Bahamadia?
That's hard. I'm
Shot?
gonna go. Get it ready.
Let's get it ready. All right, let's get the shot ready.
Shout out to both of them.
Okay.
They both fire.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We taking the shot too, right? We're not just holding it.
That's your job. That's
All right,
what you do,
salute. All right,
Salute.
where your shot at? We don't see the shot. Okay, last one. Mobb Deep or M.O.P.?
Mobb Deep.
I thought she was gonna go Brooklyn with it.
Yeah, but Mobb Deep got like one of my anthems. Just like,
What is that? What is
well, I love Shook Ones.
Shook Ones? You know
It's
that's the
just a
Project
few.
Stole from Cooking Crack.
Yeah, that.
That is it. That is the
Yeah.
Shook Ones beat.
He told us.
No, that is from Cooking Crack, sir.
Yeah, he told us.
Yeah, let's make some noise for Cooking Crack.
Oh, he didn't tell us the cooking crack part. Did he tell us the cooking crack part? I don't know. He told us that.
Listen, I know.
He told us the stove though.
Look, the stove. Hey, man.
Coming in
Hey,
this
man.
game on some island.
Go. So we gotta ask. You know, we do our due diligence. Just like every other guest, we have to Google, we have to understand. And one thing that kept popping up was the Virgil thing. I did not know. I did not understand. And as I dug in further, I didn't want to dig because I said, you know what? We got the queen here. Let me not do, internet gossip shit. Let me ask her direct.
Okay.
What is the discrepancy between you and Virgil, if there is any?
The discrepancy is a varsity jacket
Okay.
that he put out that has 2 W's on it.
Wait.
A big. He's selling it. It's selling a lot, and he sold a lot of them. And I actually saw it first through Carlos, Classic Material, which is my dog, and he sent me.
Carlos Maldonado. Let's
Yeah,
pick up
shout
Carlos
out for
Maldonado.
Carlos.
Okay.
So Carlos DM'd me like, "Yo, what is this?" And it was a Saks ad.
So what was
And
his two W's
in the
represented?
Saks ad is a varsity with the 2 W's, but the 2 W's look just mirror reflection of this WW athletic mark that I've used since '93. Like that's when I said Mike Tyson wore in the ring. We just did a run. We dropped it for
You need to put the
Christmas,
pictures to the
and
side.
in Christmas I think we sold out in like 2 days, and it was like a moment in time. Like we do these drops where we'll talk about. So we talked about Mike Tyson. Remember at the end of last year, Mike Tyson did that fight.
Yeah.
So we sold out at that same time. So we've been selling it continually, and after it happened, it went kind of viral. This was Women's History Month and Black History Month, and people were talking about it. So I know, well, let's say allegedly, I believe through different people in the culture that was saying like nothing. So finally, I had to talk to some lawyers that reached out to try to settle this amicably.
Because
I don't want to, I never would want to even do that, but I have to protect our trademarks, our masters.
And remember the point, because I remember this one year that Gucci came out with
Right.
the puff thing. Was that something? Did you feel like that when you saw his?
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
With Dapper Den when everybody
Yeah,
went
because
crazy.
I believe that did Louis Vuitton, but
Right.
Gucci actually
did
it
knockoff
over,
of it.
and he got no credit. So
Right. But that's how you got his deal.
Right.
Because Black Twitter came for them.
Right.
And so I will say, I also believe the only thing worse than racism in this country is sexism. And I say that because I didn't have half of that rallying with
Wow.
that support, and
Wow.
it's just things you notice as a woman, no disrespect, because wrong is wrong. I'm
Right.
so happy Dap got that.
Right.
And for me, you just heard it, I'm an indie. So
Right.
I'm not doing this
Yeah.
to get a collab. It's
Right.
about protecting what's yours and what
Right.
you've built up over the last 3 decades,
Right.
So for me, it's not okay. When you think about Starbucks,
Right.
when you think about
Like there's an ad.
when you think about different brands that are iconic, they're iconic for a reason. We're an iconic brand. To think because you put stripes here, it's gonna make it different. If my customers are confused and congratulating me and saying dope
Right.
collab or
When you
you're
emerge,
in
you think about-
Saks,
yeah, okay.
So they were thinking it was
a
a collab.
lot of my
Wow.
customers were getting confused,
Right.
and Tribe.
Wow.
So that's clearly the arrogance of another brand saying we can do that and people won't notice, and how dare you when we're an established brand just like a lot of the other iconic brands, So I just really wanted to also stand up and protect Black and brown creatives because like you said, it's not a first. It happened to Dapper Dan. It's happened to a lot. Tyler Perez, this happened to him. It happened to so many instances. Down to like you heard in the remix when they were kidding about Misa and Fendi, and
Right.
you know it keeps happening,
Oh,
and we can't.
Big Daddy Kane wore the thing. Yeah.
We just can't let. It's happened more now with technology, where you see these drive-bys take place with independent designers, and they just make, regurgitate, and sell our magic back to us, and we just allow it. So I think a lot of designers think they'll be outgunned because they know they can't stand up in legal proceedings. You know, they can't, it's too expensive. So they're banking on that, you know, that they can get away with it. So I'm hoping that this case is taking a stand for all of us, not
Right.
just me.
So let me ask you, did you know Virgil prior to this?
No,
You never met him?
never met him,
Wow.
never met him.
Because it seems like something that's like so easy to fix.
I agree.
Wow.
I agree.
Maybe this could
and
help
I was
fix it.
hoping that we could. You know, my lawyers reached out, but they reached out to them. They reached out to Saks, and from what my understanding, they didn't want to stop selling it.
And this was Off-White or this was Louis Vuitton?
Off-White,
It was Off-White, so that's a Louis.
separate.
Okay. Yeah, we need to put the pictures. We need to put the pictures.
And I think that just from a standpoint, like when there's confusion, that's where the problem is.
And you're saying this is not the route that you wanted to go.
Yeah, I mean, I would have never liked to get it to this point, but at the same time, I'm not just going to lay down.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, you should. Make some noise for you, goddamn.
But black and brown creators, let me just say this.
Yes.
Like, that's the trajectory of my work, like for us, in terms of paying it forward.
And you literally black and brown.
Yeah,
Literally.
literally.
Yeah, me too.
So there you go.
Go
Give it up. Give it up.
Get up, get up, get up.
And me and Sunny.
I'm mixed.
So no, that's what we do. Like so like I do a lot of educational work. I mentor and reverse mentorship. I'm big into mentorship and reverse mentorship. I surround myself by a lot of younger designers, and they're looking at me.
Right.
They're looking at. I want them not to be afraid to do what's right, you
Right,
know. And
right.
at the same time, this is how we grow.
Right.
And in that, like VidSig, I'm working with VidSig. I don't know if you've heard of VidSig.
No, what's that?
It's a new platform where you can connect one-on-one, and Search is on there.
Oh, Search hit me today.
Hey, shout out to
Okay.
Search for
Shout out
connecting
to
us.
Search,
as well.
right?
Yeah.
Search
Search hit me
is on
today.
there.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
actually introduced me.
Yeah.
He's working with them, but I'm working with them. That's one of the
You
platforms.
know what's funny about Search? Search hits you and be like, yo, this is Search. Like, you're locked in, buddy. He still introduces himself.
Right.
Like this is 2021. Like, you can't, you know, back in the days, like,
That's old school.
yeah, he like, yo, this is Search. Like,
Yeah.
wait a minute. Do you not know we have something called contact lock? We know who you are, sir. Relax. I'm sorry.
No, I
I'm sorry.
get it.
He hit me today and he introduced himself again. I said,
He's being polite, bro.
no, that's old school shit. She knows
It is
that's old
old
school
school.
shit. Come on, let's do that.
So, yeah.
okay, let me
Just-
ask you something. Has anybody ever rocked your clothes in a way where you said, this dude is a buffulio? Because it's about how you rock it now.
Right. Yeah. no.
You will give us four the same clothes. It's gonna be about two of us that rock
Right.
it the wrong way.
Okay.
So have you ever had somebody rock it where you was like, rock it, don't stop it?
No,
Don't
I've
stop.
never had that because, to be honest, we work with artists that
They got style.
that had style or that had. So I think that brands, if you're lucky enough, you choose to work with artists that are in alignment with your value system. And so like Pac, Biggie, N.O.R.E by Nature, EPMD, all those guys were in alignment with what we stood for, you know. There were times when we had to turn down artists.
Like who? Rumpelstiltskin and them niggas needed some clothes and you said, fuck them.
Actually, we did the album cover, so no, they weren't one.
I was playing around.
No, that's a real good.
It's a real good.
Yeah, they were dope. They were dope.
I was playing around. I was playing around.
They were dope.
I was playing around.
I got their album.
I did not know there was a group called Rebels. I did not know.
No, definitely. Yeah.
I was playing around. Okay, I'm sorry.
What was the group? I'm blanking out with the name. I promise you.
Describe it.
Troop was one.
Troop?
Troop was one.
It's
I
Troop
don't
R&B?
remember. Maybe it was Troop, but the two guys, one of them, they were so dope, but they were pop.
Oh, Boris
pop
and
artists.
Sunny.
No. KRS had a fight with
PM Dawn. Don't say PM
PM
Dawn.
Dawn.
Oh my God, he got a diss record against me right now. Like shit is crazy.
Rest in peace to homie that passed away.
Rest in peace to the PM
Rest in
Dawn.
peace, but-
It was a joke, PM Dawn. The PM Dawn that's left.
And it was kind of ill diss record to you. I gotta stand up.
I didn't hear it.
But Hype at that time was doing that video, and I was cool with Hype.
And you didn't want to do PM Dawn video. Let's just be clear.
So I think they did the video in my apartment, like they
That
used
main single?
whatever the video was that
But you didn't
Hype
want to give him
did.
clothes?
What's that
But
main
it
record?
just wasn't congruent with the brand. You know what I mean? I thought they were dope, but you got them, right? And then at the time I had Pac, I had Biggie, I had all these. I didn't want to chance the
It's not me,
we
PM
talk
Dawn.
about chancing. No, just what the brand value system is. They're dope, but it was a different lane to me.
Yeah.
And I
She's saying
didn't.
Exactly
She's
what I
saying
was
it the
saying.
right way.
That's exactly what I was saying. So now, we spoke about Magic.
The Magic Conference, right?
Magic Conference, which was ill to me because I used to go out there and get free clothes. I did not realize that I had holes in the free clothes that I was getting because they were samples.
They were
Right.
tests, yeah.
I didn't really realize that till I was in the hood flossing, and he was like, "You know, you got a hole in your shit." I said, "Holy moly!" I said, "I got the newest whatever."
Holy moly,
Holy
right.
moly. And they're like, "Holy moly!" I said, "Geez, Louise, Papa Cheese." Okay, let's move on from that.
Yeah, we had to cut them up.
Fashion Week, something that I personally, because me, I'm not like a fashion guy. I just like the fly shit, but I don't like to invest into the fly shit. But I'm invested into the fly shit.
Okay.
But Fashion Week, I don't invest in. I don't care about these models that come to the town, and now it's traffic on 57th Street. When I go to 57th Street all the time,
Right.
and it's okay. So I don't care about these models named Sasha.
What is your point, bro?
But I'm not in fashion.
Right.
For a fashion person, Fashion Week, what does this mean? Is this y'all Super Bowl? Because to me, it's like soccer. Like, you know how the world loves
Right.
soccer, but we don't give a fuck about soccer. Let's just throw it out there. Let's just throw it out there. The soccer fans gonna ban us too. Fuck it. Let's get Me Too from the soccer fans.
Soccer's the biggest thing in the
Fuck
world.
soccer. Soccer's trash. Fuck y'all. Fuck y'all. What is this football shit? Why y'all keep kicking the ball and everybody's sweating and it's only 3 points?
Stay on message.
All that shit y'all did? 3 points? Fuck soccer, man. Y'all motherfuckers are sitting around. So that's how I feel about Fashion Week.
But wait.
That's how I feel about the World Cup as well.
I want to kind of add on to it, to an answer. Oh, no, hold on.
Let her finish though. I want to finish Fashion Week though.
No, it's about. I'm gonna say it's
about Fashion
It's going
Week?
into Fashion
Okay.
Week. Do you feel that? What's the best way to describe hip hop fashion? I always feel like urban fashion was kind of like a weird way to say it. Is it?
I say it's lifestyle. It's really lifestyle. It's just who's wearing it.
Right. So
Like
now,
in terms of putting labels on it, I think we're the only category that has like had 8 different names.
right. So for lack of better words, we could say hip hop fashion though, right? Do you feel that it's evolved into the point where it's mainstream fashion now?
It's pop.
And
It's
that's
like
why
pop
now it's
culture,
going
yeah.
into Fashion Week.
It's one of the biggest industries, and
Right.
we made the most money. And
Come on, brother.
You gotta spray Creed in the air sometimes.
Come on, man. I got allergies from.
You just gotta spray Creed. You gotta make sure the devil is not lurking. You know what I'm saying?
Look, man.
No, that's the devil, nigga.
She's Mexican, bro. She's half Mexican. She knows what a michelada is.
Okay, cool. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't know if she does.
Yeah.
I just want to get you to say fuck Fashion Week.
Well, let's.
That's my whole goal right now. Okay.
So Fashion Week.
Fuck Fashion Week. Fuck
Yeah, like
Fashion Week.
I've never been a Fashion Week like contender. Like I've never depended on Fashion Week to dictate my success or validate my dopeness as a brand. If you look at the color of people that walk the runway, it's very different a lot of times for the designers that are allowed into fashion. So it's problematic in a lot of ways. I think the world is changing, just not fast enough. I'm not waiting for it to change. So your tribe is your tribe. You don't need Fashion Week to tell you
So I feel like you're saying
you got heat.
fuck Fashion Week.
I'm saying that it works for some people, and for some people it doesn't.
It's not for everybody.
It's
Fuck
not for
Fashion Week.
everybody. It's not for everybody.
Fuck Fashion Week.
Like it's fun. It's like
She
a
said
lot
for
of
some
people like
people,
that.
fuck
Just say fuck. Fuck Fashion Week. Let me get it out of you.
Fuck Fashion Week.
That's one thing. Listen. That's one thing that Drake and Kanye can agree on right now. Because they're going at each other. Listen, y'all, I want y'all both to realize, fuck Fashion Week. For both of y'all, fuck the Fashion Week, right? I don't get this. There's a guy named Pierre. He's giving out Viva Clico. He's just walking around.
I'm an indie. So, it's not like, as an
Fuck
indie,
Fashion.
it's not that important.
They don't invite me anyway, so like I'm in town.
Is that
and
why
they,
you mad?
No, I've been
No,
mad.
right,
I've been
yeah,
mad
okay.
for a
Didn't you
long
just go to a fashion show recently?
Yeah.
Come on, bro. I wish I had my horns so I could. Come on, man. Come on. Eating sushi.
And for the disclaimer,
In all fairness, it was swim week.
Even worse.
Same assholes. And reiterated why I hate Fashion Week.
Hold on. Listen.
And for the disclaimer, I have to say I'm getting ready to do a collab with another brand, and you might see it at Fashion Week through their brand.
And you'll be right there because you already went. So
I like the free drinks. I gotta throw that out there. I gotta throw that out there. I didn't like their tuna tartare. They cheese stink too. I was like, ugh, they cheese. Like,
you obviously wasn't saying fuck Fashion Week that day.
I actually was there sober that day. No, that was That was swim week.
Oh, so that's okay.
I live in Miami. Swim week is a little different.
It's like Shark Week.
You gotta go with your wife and just act like you like this shit. Oh yeah. Okay. You want to stay married. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just, all right, good. All right, yeah. Because I'm just, I was mad. But they showed me in my smoking section. As soon as I seen the smoking section, I said, hey. That's all you got. That's the key to this shit. Have a smoking section with non-stinking cheese. Because the cheese they had there that day.
From under?
It smelled like the thunder from down under. Holy moly guacamole, it was not good. April Walker, we love you.
Thank you for having me.
What's next up before we get up out of here?
I'm doing a book that the audio is dropping. I have a book called Walker Gems, Get Your Ass Off the Couch. I brought one for you.
Walker what?
Walker Gems, Get Your Ass Off the Couch. It's all about the passion pursuit. And the audio is dropping. The audio it was produced by Milk D. It has Rosie Perez on it. It's gonna be dope.
Rosie Perez?
And then I do a lot of educational work. So I'm doing a class with Clive Davis Music Institute this at NYU this fall. And it's called The Sound of Fashion. I'm excited about that, music and fashion. Work with the kids. Shout out to Global Finance. Teach them BYOB. Be your own brand. Build your own brand.
Independent. Be independent.
Taking a shot.
And then VidSig. All about VidSig. You want to find me for Fashion Fridays. For new up-and-coming designers, I'm doing monthly collaborations. I'm consulting. This is the one-on-one you want, so you can find me there.
That's beautiful. Make some noise for that, man. I'm taking a shot for her because you know what? Our show is about giving people flowers and You know, as I researched your story, I really thought your story was out there. I really thought, but then as I started to research, I started to say, I don't know it. So how many more is me?
Right.
And I kid you not, I know I said it earlier, and I know I said it in a playing way, but I always thought designers had it the easy way. I did not know.
There's so many hurdles.
Yeah, I did not know that y'all got the same hurdles as us. Maybe if not worse than us. So I want to give you your flowers right now. I want to tell you how much you appreciate it. I want to tell you how much that we love what you did, how much you paved the way.
How iconic you are.
How iconic you are. Because, like I said, like I really thought when I asked you, when I researched you, I really thought you had someone that you said, you know, I could base this off of, you know, Elizabeth Taylor or so. I thought you was gonna say that when you said I had nobody.
Right.
That shit touched me just now. Like, I mean, like I knew your story, but just now you saying like I had nobody. I just was like, you know what, fuck it. I want to compete with what's going on, and that to me has to be saluted. That to me has to be respected. That to me has to be honored. And I don't want anything to happen to you. We want to tell you that to your face. And this is your platform. This is your home. If you want to perform, if you want to promote your new slipper line,
you can perform it too.
I mean, promote. I meant to say promote. If you want to promote your motherfucking new eyeliner line, if you want to promote pink toenails, that's just for the little toe.
Okay.
Just for the little toe. Just letting you
At
know.
Fashion Week.
At Fashion Week. Especially if Fashion Week is in Miami, because we out here.
And he's there. He's there.
We out here like that.
Have a smoking section.
This is your home. This is for hip hop, and you are hip hop. You are not a visitor or a person. You are hip hop. When I researched you, I had very fun researching you. And I love that. I love when I go and research and it's fun because it's like, oh shit. And you don't talk much. You don't talk much. Very to yourself. But I love the fact that you was open with us. I love the fact that and we want to tell you to your face, we love you. We appreciate you. You are a hip hop icon. You are a person who shaped the mold of how we dress, how we feel, and how we operate, and we love that. And we really appreciate you here at Drink Champs. Make some noise. So, we're gonna take a picture and you do a drop.
Again.
Yes.
How important this show is.
Thank you so much.
Because you're telling our stories.
Yes.
And you're doing it fearlessly.
Yep.
You're not diluting.
Yep.
And you're empowering. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God damn, come on. Take a picture in the drop, right?